It's it's all about systems, having structure, um, and then kind of optimizing that structure, right? But something you said really, resonates, and it's really important to remember to kind of like start on this thought is right now is the best time to start a business. And why is it the right best time? Is because we have so much knowledge, we have so much access to different ideas that we can tap into, right? I think the one thing
Yep.
that every entrepreneur that that I know at least is has the same trait, and that is just being curious. Right. You need to
Yes.
be curious and leverage the things that are around you. They can be paid for, they can be also be free. I'm a big believer of YouTube University. If there's something that
100%.
you don't know, go on YouTube, go on Google, ask ChatGPT, start understanding it. That's really what led me to one, starting this type of a business, but then also understanding what systems I should be putting in place, right?
Yep.
Like, where is my time best leverage? My time, for example, is best leverage doing things like this, meeting great people, building relationships, meeting with clients, and trying to solve their problems because that's just how my brain works and then what I want to do. My time, for example, is not best spent sending out an invoice, sending out client contracts, doing a lot of lead generation. I kind of want to take that higher leverage time and step into it. So um, that's really what the foundation of it all is understanding where you want to spend time and where you should be spending time as well. You marry those two things, you're going to have a business that you're going to be very, very happy with, very um, in the day to day, you're going to wake up wanting to go to work, wanting to evolve your
Yep.
business at the end of the day. So I'll talk a little bit about a kind of like a framework that I like to do. Super simple. I do this for myself with all of my clients. And it's how to structure systems and how to properly record SOPs with a virtual assistant so they can understand it, you understand it, and then you can actually grow the team much more from there. So the way that I do it is I'm a big believer in visual learning, writing learning, and then repetition after that, right?
Hmm.
So let's say for me, for example, there's a client onboarding process that I want to build out that I've been doing. I've been building the system. What's important is that every executive and myself included, we have to know the systems that we're handing over to someone, right?
Yep.
If you're hiring a virtual assistant, you say, "Hey, I'm not good at marketing. I need a marketing person." Yeah, they're going to help you. They're going to get some traction going. But if you have a plan, if you have been working with someone and you kind of know a little bit more about marketing, then you plug a person in to automate that and then remove yourself. You're going to have a lot more success.
Yep.
So always know the systems that you're looking to hand over. When you're looking to hand those systems over, I like to do a meeting like this. You get on a Zoom meeting, you get on a Google meeting, you record that meeting, transcribe that meeting, and you go through exactly the steps that you're doing to onboard this new client or this new agent or whatever system you're looking to do. From there, you share that recording with your virtual assistant or an employee or someone that you're looking to take over that process for you. And then you have them write out the steps exactly as detailed as possible. And this goes down to open up this website, click top right in the find your profile icon, sign in, go here, do this, do this, do this, and then send this email. And then when you send this email, be sure to follow up 2 days later, right? They write out exactly what this looks like and then send that over to you. So,
Yep.
one, the only thing that you did is you had a recording of you training this person exactly how to do it so they can refer back to it. They're drilling this into their brain because they're writing out the process, which they're going to send over to you, which you can then refine to make sure it's exactly how you want it. Um, and then from there, you now have a training library and a knowledge base for your business, not just an SOP, not just an SOP saying, hey, on Mondays we do this, and this is how you do this. No, you
Yep.
actually have a recording of you doing it and this person analyzing it and then writing it out for you. So the beauty of doing it this way is you train once, you hand it over to a person once, and then let's say you're looking to grow your marketing team. You already have that training there. You don't need
Yep.
to redo everything over again, right? You don't need to train the next person, the next person, next person, because now you're just a trainer in your business, right? Like that's not why we're
Yeah.
starting it either.
No, and I think there's a couple of points I wanted to kind of dig in there. You talk about the calendar and what people delegate. I think what's really important is that everyone's going to love different things, and the point is to be doing the things that are the highest leverage for the business, and also some of the things that you like to do. So, for
Hmm.
example, I'll use because sometimes people, Dan Martell talks about buy back your time, that whole book, and if
Yeah.
it's a task, if you say you're billed at, let's just keep the math simple. Let's say I'm billed at $10 an hour. But I'm doing $2 an hour tasks. I should hire someone
Hmm.
else to do $2 an hour tasks. Yes, however, if you like doing that $2 an hour task, so I like cutting the grass, for example, right? But that's when I love being outdoors. I love the smell of it. That's when I listen to a podcast, right? So I'll get a podcast in while I'm doing the grass outside. So like I am feeding my brain, but doing something. For other
Yeah.
people, they may absolutely hate cutting a grass, and that would be deemed low value to them, and that's
Yeah.
okay. So I think to your point, it's figuring out, like you said, and I always use the accounting example, right? So like I like management accounting. I can't, like, my brain doesn't work when it comes to financial, like traditional accounting. Like I know
Hmm.
how it clearly works, but I couldn't see myself being an accountant that does audits. To me, that would be the most boring thing on the planet. It would not be good for me. However, for someone, that's what they love doing, right? So
Yeah.
you hire them
Exactly.
accordingly, and that is okay. And so I think the point that you're getting to is like map out your day, figure out what you like doing, what you don't like doing. And then, the biggest issue, and I'm sure you found this as well in talking with people, is that business leaders and founders, they always think, well, no one can do it like me. Well, if you're doing something you don't like and you map it, but you're still doing it good and you give it to someone who likes doing that thing, some people love sending out invoices and checking box. Like we're all different and we need to celebrate that diversity and put people in their zone of genius. But by
Yeah.
doing that, guess what? Every person that has delegated something they don't like, they're like, oh, yeah, so and so does it way better than I ever did. But yet, 6 months before, they thought they were the only people on earth that could do that thing that they do. And it's so far from the truth that I think people need to realize that it's like actually delegation, creating systems, and using VAs or virtual, whatever format. It's actually the most empowering thing you can do for your business and for your own mental health and physical well-being, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And at the base of all that, if it's virtual assistants, if it's AI, if it's someone you're bringing into your company, um, in person or a contractor or really whatever it is, you need that layer of trust. That's what I've noticed is that is so important. Because all of us, all of us founders, business owners, we all think that, I mean, of course, we are very unique and we have unique ways of doing it. And that's why we have a successful business, right? But at the end of the day, there are portions in there that you believe only I can do this. But if you properly hand it or, organize it, systematize it exactly how you're doing it, and then teaching that to someone, kind of using the framework that I use, um, you're slowly starting to build a trust, right? Because you're slowly starting to understand, you're starting to see what you do and how you do it. Where
Yeah.
is that unique point that I have to do every time? Don't take that away from yourself, right? Like this
Yeah.
system can be for a virtual assistant and also an AI. I mean, I love AI and I train all my virtual assistants on AI so they can leverage it in our clients' businesses as well. Um, but it's step one, step two, step three, step four, all handled by a virtual assistant. Step six, this is where I need to step in, right? I
Yeah.
can't have someone else do this step. So it's simply
Yeah.
about having a trigger, a process, and a result, right? So the trigger starts the process. But then in the
Yeah.
middle of that process, that virtual assistant or that AI, however you want to set it up, triggers you to say, hey, you need to do your portion now. You need to do your spot. So that's
Yeah.
your promise in this process is that, okay, every time it comes here, I will do this, or else you're the bottleneck of your business, right? You can't blame
Yeah.
anyone else because you need to do what you need to do. And if it's something that you have to do and something that you love to do, great. And then guess what? After that, let's say we do this podcast, right? after we have to be here on the podcast. We can't replace ourselves having this conversation with the knowledge
Right.
and what we're doing.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be editing this podcast. You shouldn't be scheduling this podcast. You shouldn't be using your time unless that's something you really enjoy to
Right.
get this out to the masses, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of having that collaboration, testing it out, and then saying, hey, after these 3 times, send it over to me. Let me review it. It takes me about 3 to 5 times of a virtual assistant doing a new system where they really, really get it 100%. And I simply say, hey, I don't need to review this anymore. Don't add me into this. You're taking up my day. If it's something important, of course, but if not, I trust you now. You can handle this. You know what
Yeah.
to do, and you trigger me when I need to step in. So it's really having that layer of trust, which is super, super important.
I think I agree with you, and I love that you use the concept of trust because I think that is really important. And when you trust, like I believe all people all over the world, they want to do they want to do meaningful things. And
Hmm.
when you train someone properly, and then you trust them, you get that empowerment, which
Yeah.
in all the businesses I've ever worked on or worked with or for, when you have trust that leads to empowerment 99% of the time productivity impact improves because people now they're doing something that they like, they've been entrusted with something. It's just an innate human thing that they're now
Hmm.
part of something. I'm now helping this company achieve its vision or mission, whatever that might be. And you step back and across people all over the world, they all want the same thing, right? They
Yeah.
want to contribute, they want to add value, they want to earn a living, spend time with their family. Like it really is universal. And that's why I think the systems, over to your point, overlaid with trust are just so important. And it might take you three, four, 5 times, 6 times to get to the level of trust. And that's okay. That's the point, because it frees both of you up, right? Yourself and the person that's being entrusted. It now everybody's freed up to sort of make the impact without friction. And that's how that you got to reduce chaos, right? And which is a little too common in businesses of all sizes nowadays, right? So it's like, God, let's cut the noise down. Life's too short, right? So no matter
Right.
who we are, where we are, how much money we have, we only have 24 hours. So we have to make them the best that we can. And like you said, sometimes you got to take a few swings at it, right? And that's okay. That's
Yeah.
part of the process, right?
And we have 24 hours, 7 days a week, and I want to use one of those days to go skiing. Right. So
Yeah,
it's like we got to pick where we want to go.
you got to pick where we want to go. Yeah. Although
Yeah.
I'll have to come out to the mountains there, that's for sure. Um,
Yeah, definitely. The
we're-
season's starting to come in here soon. And it's so important to give. I like the word that you use, the empowerment, right? At the end of the day, yes, if you're a solopreneur, if it's just you, if you're looking to grow your team, um, you know, you've been doing everything, right? But having someone come in and join your team and then you build that trust and you give them empowerment is, it's important to have the systems in place that you're handing things over exactly how you want to do it. But then when you build that trust and you start empowering them, they really do take on that ownership of that
Mhm.
division or of that thing. And just like you were saying, you're connecting with a human aspect of it. Every human wants to contribute to their community or to their family or to their, community is a good word, their company, right? Um, so if you allow them to do that, my virtual assistants have made our marketing process way better than I could have ever even imagined. Right.
Mhm.
I said, hey, I want to start it here. I want to do it like this. I want to post it like this. And now we have a content tracker sheet that I have two of them working on it at once. One's editing, one's posting, adding description there, blah, blah, and doing it all together. I'm like, this is absolutely fantastic. This is something I would have never thought about because I'm just
Yeah.
simply not interested in exactly that portion of it. They own it now,
Yeah.
so they're going to bring it up to way new heights than I ever even could have imagined.